死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。
絶望の匂いだ。
面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなに家賃が多すぎて。
お父さん。
あかん。
ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。
アメリカ、万歳、ファイト。
絶対負けないよ。
ランド、トライドまで。
出ろ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。
おい、仲良くしてね。この世界、季節、いけるかな。昔、グレートだった。大きに、また、グレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコ掴んでいいさ。そう。見放せるで。
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. Happy to see all of you here again for a super chat square up, because earlier we were live and I just didn't have time to read everything. So here we are now live to catch up on all of that and just to hang out and see how you guys are doing too. It was a awesome stream. And I just wish we had a little more time, but then we had Mario Kart, and I jumped over there. We had a great stream. Now we're back over here for my fourth stream of the day. Streaming is very, very difficult, and I need all of your thoughts and prayers to get me through this time. Yeah, here we go again. Jessica is here. Jessica's here. So I didn't think you were going to be here. But she's here. Fifth stream after this. No, we got a big day tomorrow on the main Geeks and Gamers channel. So I hope you guys will tune in for that. But we did cover a lot of the Candace Owens stuff earlier, and I definitely wanted to talk a little bit more about that, because it looks like Tim Pool actually responded tonight to this. So right here, says she's a fucking scumbag and she's getting worse every day. Is that from Tim?
It's Huey says, Tim, I work in construction and experience the same thing. My coworkers are all in on the Charlie Kirk conspiracies. If the Republicans lose in the midterms, I believe that Candace Owens is wholly responsible. She is one of the biggest podcasts on the right, doing everything to go to war with the organization that helped get Trump elected. Turning Point specifically was going out and registering people to vote. Without Charlie, it's in trouble.
She's 100% right about that. He is. He's 100% right about what she's doing. And she sees a weakness right now with Turning Point. Now, a lot of people brought this up, and I'm not in the business of just like, oh, well, somebody was part of this back in the day or whatever, but she had a doxing website, from what I understand, before, she got, I think she created Red Pill Black was the name of her channel. And she had like a doxing website before she got into this conservative movement or whatever. And so, she now sees a weakness with Turning Point, and she is there to completely take it down. Now, again, my theory is that, my theory is that she feels like she should have been in the position of Erica Kirk for whatever reason. I think Erica Kirk has an opportunity to prove who she really is right now with this situation. Turning Point did address it and has invited her to talk to them. I know Candace said that she is going to join them in whatever capacity. I still am not convinced that she's going to do that, but we'll see.
Turning Point needs to be able to go out and rally young people and register them to vote. And she's doing everything she can to destroy that. And that is going to, I suppose, it's going to rip out the coffers on the right. There is no organization like Turning Point that exists anywhere else that has the resources and the reach. And without Charlie, I'm not sure that they can make it. But I can tell you this, Candace lighting a Molotov and throwing it through the window is not helping. And it's the most demoralizing thing ever. Additionally, all of the fucking cowards on the right who are too scared to say anything about her, because she tweets at me talking shit or whatever, and then a bunch of people come and flood our chat. I could give a single flying fuck. You can come and you can burn everything I have to the ground, and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works. And she is a fucking scumbag. Okay. And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit, we're going to lose the midterms. We're going to lose the midterms. Then we're going to lose in 2028. And it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason? Now, guess what? I'm not on the best of terms with Turning Point either. In case you didn't remember, they didn't invite us this year, and it's become a big thing or whatever. I have nothing. I can say I know what they are. I know what they do, and I'm glad they do it. And if we don't get along, so be it.
I don't think Turning Point's in a good place right now, based on and absolutely nothing outside of just me seeing it from the outside looking in. I don't think they're in good shape. I think they're in bad shape, and it's pretty obvious why they're in bad shape. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful to a grieving widow, but they're not in good shape.
I don't know that they make it without Charlie, whatever. But what is the purpose of intentionally fanning the flames for 3 endless months of just nonstop retard shit, Candace? Holy crap. You know, initially in the beginning, she brought up some interesting things. New photos had emerged, and I said, wow, I even said this to Andrew Colvett at Turning Point at the beginning of October. Now she's at the point where it is video after video where she's saying it's an inside job. She's saying, like, there's a video of the dude, Mikey McCoy, grabbing his phone and making a phone call, and she's acting like that's weird. And then you get this other guy who's claiming that the business is a parking lot. Well, he full well knows businesses can be registered anywhere. To be fair, it's not only just Candace and saying what she's saying. It is all of these people who are like piranhas ripping the right to shreds. And you know what? A lot of cowards on the right being unwilling to say anything about it. Well, this is where we go. The Democrats are trying to find a way back to reality. They published this thing.
I do, again, I give Tim a lot of credit for being a prominent voice on the non-woke side, whatever you want to call it, for calling her out. I think a lot of people are scared to call her out. I absolutely believe that because she knows so many of them. She knows so many of them, and she's the type that she'll air dirty laundry, man. That's who she is.
Where they said, oh, we've got to, it's called deciding to win. And they said, we have to address kitchen table issues. Like hell, I would ever vote for someone like Elizabeth Warren or Gavin Newsom. But what I think is likely to start occurring now is the grifter right is cannibalizing itself. You are going to see the right now move from a populist base more to a neocon base. Democrats are going to go to war internally over the far left, and you'll see the emergence now of these deciding to win types, which, like Stephen A. Smith, will start agreeing with people like me and Joe Rogan. And they're going to try and win back the ground, and they're going to utilize the absurdity, psycho-reality of Candace Owens to rip people from the right so that Democrats can start winning again. And that is the reality the right has to contend with. Conservatives had a coalition. Charlie helped build it. Disaffected liberals came on board. People like Candace are intentionally burning it to the ground. Stephen A. Smith is coming out. Bill Maher even now coming out more reasonably. The Democrats are going to reemerge. Those that sold their souls for woke and to COVID are going to lose out, and they're going to retire. The AOC types, you're going to see her desperately try to moderate, but we're going to see in these swing districts, they're going to try. Now, that being said, hyperpolarization, as I've already described, may affect New York and Los Angeles and Chicago, so we will see it. Maybe it all just gets ripped apart anyway, and you end up with 15 different factions.
I agree with everything he's saying. People do not fully appreciate just how powerful of an entity that Donald J. Trump is. Because when Trump is no longer president, the leader of the Republican Party, which I feel like he'll always kind of be the leader of the Republican Party, but when he is not the president, when he is not in that position to ever be in that position again, it will change everything. It changes everything. And that is a freaking terrifying scenario for me. Mark Andre Rose says, when Trump is gone, we're fucked. Yeah, that's what I worry about. And a lot of the people that make up MAGA, like, look, man, let's just be real. Like, Donald Trump being a MAGA online personality is good business, because a lot of these people that are prominent MAGA people were not prominent MAGA people until it was obvious that Trump was going to get the nomination, because they were riding the fence, trying to figure out if DeSantis was going to be the guy or if Trump was going to be a guy. A lot of those guys did not become prominent Trump supporters until it was obvious, because they wanted to see which way the wind was going to blow. And when Trump is no longer there, it's going to be a nasty, nasty world with these prominent right-wing commentators.
All fighting for power in the federal government. All I can say is it is frustrating to look at everything that's happening in the world and realize, for a brief moment, my friends, maybe it's a little bit too black-pilled, but I'll say what I'm going to say. It looks like victory a year ago. It wasn't a long, protracted election. It was a snap and done. Trump won. Wow. And then one by one, cracks in this coalition begin to form. For whatever reason, the falling of Daily Wire, the ousting of Jeremy Boring, he's gone. Whatever it is going on with Daily Wire, I have no idea. But for some of these guys, their views have gone down. There's been heavy critiques. There's the Israel and anti-Israel rights now fighting each other. You see these cracks forming. You get the Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes dispute, and now Candace Owens is trying to burn down Turning Point. And so what it feels like to me is we're watching the ship sink.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong at all. And it's crazy. I think that, man, how do you, with Charlie Kirk, I don't know how, I'm thinking how to word this. So, like, when Charlie Kirk was here, I didn't view Charlie Kirk as the single entity that was holding everything together. And I don't necessarily believe that he was in life. I think he was an important person. I think he was an important figure among many important figures on the conservative side. But his death and the way that it happened and the way that it played out, it galvanized people. And without him at the forefront of Turning Point, it does show you that he probably was more important than many people, most people understood, because of the reach that Turning Point had. I never viewed Charlie Kirk as a cultural icon when he was alive. I never viewed him as like this guy that all of these people were following, all of these young people were following. Because it wasn't about Charlie Kirk, the man, as much as it was about Charlie Kirk's ideas and the leadership that he had. I don't consider Charlie Kirk a dynamic personality. I don't consider him this charisma machine. He just wasn't. He was a very smart guy He was very, very good at articulating his points for sure. But he was never a guy where it was just like, man, that guy just oozes charisma, yada, yada. But a lot of his ideas and how smart he was and the pieces he was building without him there is truly a tragedy. And so now a lot of people are having like looking at this going, I think Charlie was holding everything together. And it's like, I don't think he was holding everything together, but I think he was holding a lot together. And now that void has created so many problems now. So, you know, but either way, this whole thing has been very, very ugly and it's getting worse. I'm glad Turning Point has finally addressed this because they have. Turning Point USA has finally addressed everything. And they have calmly called Candace out. And who was it that made a tweet about it? Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Right here. Jason Whitlock says, bold response. This is the way. This is a good look for TPUSA. Name calling accomplishes nothing. I agree completely. This response overall, it was measured very well. Had the right kind of tone, and this was good. This was good. I still think it probably would have been stronger if it was Erica Kirk, but Erica Kirk's going to have to address this stuff directly before it's all said and done. She's going to have to. So time will tell. I'm interested to see what happens. So, it'll be a little bit fascinating. Let's get to some of these super chats from earlier. I want to give everybody time to drop in. But Mod Eric says, keep it off. Keep it off. I meant your cam. I'm glad you clarified. Marc-Andre Roy says, beep, boop, bop, tax, bot. Nandy, we got that one earlier with the bot taxes. iBot tax. iBot tax. Packet Proton says, things I learned and Pool needs to learn. 100,000 views or subs doesn't matter if there's no community interaction. Working on that myself. Yeah, I agree with that. Ladybug says, bot lives matter. Dracon says, poll in the chat, please. Team IDOT or Team iBot? Ooh, okay. Okay, so Team IDOT or Team iBot? Okay, or Team iBot. So I like how Team iBot's going to have the lowercase I. So Team IDOT or Team iBot? There it is. What's the chat going to say? Are you an IDOT or an iBot? It's very close. That's good. That is good. Brian Stewart says that make sure you all pay your Griftmas tax this month. Absolutely. I'm glad you're reminding everyone. Let's see. Soundwave Superior says iBots in disguise tax 199 Taco Bell forever. Slain Hope says Candace is drama farming. Oldest grift on YouTube. Very true. I got pizza's greats earlier. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Southeastern Kaiju says, funny how Candace accuses Tim of doing what she's known for. Not saying the thing, but strongly implying it. And yeah, that's exactly what she did, actually. That's projection, which is a leftist tactic. So Mouse Potato says, Jeremy will be lucky to get a like tax from me. What? What did I do? Is iBot like a GoBot? BJ the Vigilant says, iBot, I'm not reading all that shit, but thank you. John freaking Murdoch for the 50 that we got earlier. Andrew says, Optimus iBot Prime, leader of the iBots, let the grift begin. Roll out. Team IDOT is winning. Big time now. Wow. Okay. Team IDOT is winning. It's a pretty substantial now. We have to do that when we have more people watching and try to see. But right now, iBot is getting kind of crushed. We should make a Team IDOT and a Team iBot, and it will be like the NWO and the NWO Wolfpack. You know what I mean? I like that. I like that. Time Flies says if Candace goes for jury trials, she will win. Midnight Light says iBots roll out. Jeremy, Merry Christmas. Steelstorm Gaming says I thought Laughing Man was supposed to be Baron. Yeah, I know. We can't even keep up with it anymore these days. Jimmy Ray says I knew it. Tax. Storm Shadow says I'm getting Candace fatigue. Wartide, Roll Eagle. Big game this Saturday. Big game this Saturday. iDots are green and iBots are blue. I like it. I've got to update the lore. I've got to let everybody know. Let our team know. So we've got to update the lore here. Time Flies says Jeremy is Netflix Yahoo's secret son. Slain Hope says Anita Sarkeesian was smart. She was also very evil. Man, I don't know if I got to think about that one for a minute. Do I think that Anita Sarkeesian is actually smart to the level of Candace? No, I think Candace is actually smart. I don't think Anita Sarkeesian was smart at all. So, Vault 95 says y'all are wrong. Jeremy gets his money from me. Ban Nelson says, what first aid, let's see, can you do for a giant hole in the neck? Yeah, exactly. Charles says, Jeremy, we're on the same page. Candace wants to be Mrs. Candace Kirk. There's Oracle of Doom paying your iBot tax. John freaking Murdoch sending checks in the mail. Cultural Breakdown says, no fig would get super chats like you. Clearly the Mossad is funneling money through the chat. Nandy, Bebop. Oh, that's the Ladybug. Is Ladybug here? Selene Hope says, maybe Turning Point was watched Candace dig her own grave. That's a fair point. Packy Proton says, how much money should we send to watch the worst movie of all time? Is it, what is that? I don't even know what that is. Oh, Birdemic. I don't know. I have to see how much I got to grift that one for. I got this one earlier. I'm still confused on this one. But listen, chat, I care about you. Just like I care about the chat from earlier, okay? I care about you. Care about you so much, okay? Oh, and she appears. Ladybug's here now. Chat, I care about all of you. And to prove it, there you go. There you go, chat. Okay? That's just for you, chat, okay? While we read some more. MAGA Mike says, where are any Candace Owens receipts? Exactly. Whiskey Niner says, honestly, it's not a bad tactic to let Candace sling all her BS, then list all of it once to make her look nuts. You guys have good points. Slain Hope and you, Whiskey Niner. Those are good points. So that could be one of their tactics. Mod Eric says, Jeremy just wants to bang Candace confirmed. I mean, I wouldn't say no. Andrew says, here's some shit currency to offset. Mod Eric says, we all know your other job is a massage agent. MAGA Mike says, the Candace Owens tax. Steel Storm says, didn't Candace used to be at SJW that ran a lefty anti-bullying docs website? Yes, correct. Let's see. Dracon says, it's safe to say you've reached 1,000. Oh, yeah, we got that one. The CobraCast Christmas right now. Spirian says, if I give you a bunch of money, Jeremy, will you share classified G&G intel with me too? Absolutely. 100%. Mellow Fungus says, hey, Jeremy, there's an AI music video called Joe Rogan Experience by Skybrows. I honestly think you'd enjoy it. I'll have to check it out. Jimbo says, hail, Jeremy. You've had some awful takes in the past, but your take on American Mexican food makes up for it. Taco Bell, maybe dog food, but it's still the best. I did read that one earlier, but we'll read it again. MAGA Mike says, imagine having to defend your murdered friend and coworker publicly only 3 months after the fact because of some very rich mean girl provoking you with tabloid-style attacks and accusations. And let's see. Miniature Vaulting says, is it me or is Candace starting to glow? Storm Shadow says, can we get a TPUSA rep and Candace on a Mario Kart World stream? That's a good way to settle it. I still like my idea of mud wrestling with Erica Kirk and Candace Owens. I think that would do numbers, okay? Just saying. I mean, am I wrong? That would do huge numbers on a live stream. That would be crazy. Okay? That'd be crazy numbers. Jeremy cut his hair. No, I didn't. No, I did not cut my hair. I did not. Let's see. Maga Mike says, like him or not, Crowder was right about Candace Ben Shapiro and how internally destructible Big Con is. Yes. I have no problem constantly admitting that I was wrong about Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder, I used to criticize Steven Crowder a lot. Steven Crowder has proven to be one of the most level-headed people in all of the conservative media. The dude is on point. I was wrong about him. I have no problem admitting that. Bubba Doom says, how do you know Doug B199 is a Mossad? Mossad are too cheap to drop super chats that big. Ha! Caught you. I still think Steven Crowder is not funny, but he is very, very on point. Dorkman says Griff Tax 1, Griff Tax 2, Griff Tax 3. Got that one from John Maito with 5. Hot dude looking for Blaine. Packy Proton says, forget Die Hard. The more important question is, who's smarter, Beavis or Butthead? That's an interesting one. I'm not sure I have the answer to that one. I used to watch Beavis and Butthead a lot, by the way. I think Beavis is smarter. Probably equal. Oh, shit. Did I not set up? I did set up Rumble, right? Okay. Yeah, there we are. We're on Rumble. Okay. I didn't forget your Rumble. You can't get mad at me, Rumble. Can't get mad at me. Yeah, I'm going to go with Beavis. So, all right, so we're caught up from earlier super chats. I got all of them, so I appreciate you. Sorry, I do apologize for not getting to those. Some of them didn't stay on for some reason, which is really weird. And I got to give another shout out to Shane, $500 and said nothing. $500 and said absolutely nothing. I don't know if you're still here. You don't have to super chat. Just comment if you want. But yeah, he said nothing. I couldn't believe it. I don't recognize the @ I mean, I've seen you before, I think. But it's because the @ it's hard for me to, like the profile picture. Are you here right now? See if he's in the chat. Thick mustache, spurs on his boots. Let's see. I don't know. Mods, if he's here, let me know. But I wanted to thank him once again for that. That's absolutely insane. So, first of all, that's not cheap. You are correct. You are correct. And the best part of when I get a $500 super chat is it makes the Ripa haters mad too. So get the $500 super chat. I get to play the Ripa clip. Then we promote Ripaverse, and the Ripa haters get mad about it too. So it's a win across the board, dude. It's a win across the board. That's my favorite part. Like, they all just get mad. It's freaking beautiful. Zero says, ask Makara, what's your favorite food? What about me? Do you not want to know my favorite food? No one interested in my favorite food? Is that how it's going to be? Can anyone guess what my favorite food is? It's fairly easy. Culver's is my favorite place. Like pizza. There it is. It's pizza. Yeah. Cap J6 says, we're talking to the ladies, not you. I respect it. I respect it. He's like, dude, nobody cares. All right. There it is right there. So he's like, nobody cares. But it is pizza. I mean, pizza is just the greatest thing that's ever been created. Besides Sydney Sweeney's tits, pizza is the greatest thing ever. So Team IDOT won big time. I'm going to interested to see how that goes in a future poll. But We got to create an iBot character now. We're going to have to work on that. Let's see. Celluloid says Jeremy is my favorite gay streamer. Not says not super chatting tonight to change the subject to college football. I'll do that tomorrow or on Friday. Yes. Let's go. I'm excited, man. Alabama, Georgia this Saturday. Can't freaking wait. Incoherent Name for 10 says, if anyone thinks Candace is that influential that she's going to cost us the midterms, they need to take a break from the internet. The midterms will be decided by the economy. That is not a bad point at all. And I'm glad you said that. And that's something that a lot of us do get caught up in with, we get caught up in the internet and all the shit that's happening. So I absolutely don't disagree with you. Like, you're right about that. If the economy is booming, if Trump gets the things done that Trump is trying to do, then we aren't going to have anything to worry about. You're right about that. It's not helpful what she's doing. It's not helpful. But ultimately, Trump is the true person that makes Trump. This is the person that will decide everything. What Trump ultimately does will lead us to where we're going. So that's why, and thank you for the super chat. That's why I always say support Trump. Like, simple as that. Nandy for 50 says, to all the libertarians, woke, right, and conservatives, is the infighting worth it? A year in, we have yet to uncover how deep of a mess Biden left. We have to overcome corrupt judges, and Johnson and Thune make Beardo seem competent on Tuesday night's main event. Yikes. You're not wrong at all. And look, man, a lot of the people that are doing the infighting are libertarians, are woke right. I don't know, I don't know what people's definition of woke right is. What my definition of woke right is basically DeSantis bros and neocons. That DeSantis bros are not like really Trump supporters at all. But when Trump destroyed DeSantis, they had to just accept Trump. And so they pretended to support Trump at first. And then the first sign of trouble, they jumped ship immediately. So, yeah. So thank you, Nandy. I appreciate it, man. Hail to you, brother. Mod Eric says, I thought this was a square up. Hey, we're getting there. Daniel says he's acting like right-wing media is the base. Nope. Price says, make sure you... Oh, I got that one. Coopster says, with your background, can you say welcome to Sesame Street? My lives matter. Eric K says, today, Ireland sentenced the teacher to life in prison for refusing to bend the knee and call people trans in school. What? No, life in prison? Are you serious? That can't be. Is that true? Life? I got to look this up. Teacher. Let's see. He got out of jail and kept teaching and refused. That is wild. Let's see here. Is this it right here? Judge jails Enoch Burke for Christmas with effective life sentence. This is a dark and shameful day in Ireland. Is an exemplary teacher and man of integrity. His only crime is that he refused to endorse transgenderism and bow to satanic ideology. What are we doing? What?
This is Enoch Burke, the teacher who has refused to deny his Christian belief and bow to transgender ideology. We're here at the Four Courts again in Dublin, where Enoch's case was again before Mr. Justice Brian Cregan. And he had a number of matters to deal with today in relation to the case. But at the beginning, he said, if any member of the Burke family so much as speaks, they will be removed by Gardaí. So this is the situation we're in. Lies are being told from the bench. Enoch Burke his name blackened, the Constitution set at naught, the law disregarded, and if a person so much as speaks a word, they will be removed by a battalion of Gardaí.
Judge Cregan today.
Trump needs to step in on this, but that doesn't change the fact that this is absolutely fucking mind-blowing. What the fuck?
Has given us a new version of the Constitution regarding religious freedom. He said if Enoch Burke practiced his Christian belief outside the gate, this would never have happened. He said it 3 times today. So he is telling us you can have your religious belief outside the gate. But you know, that's not what the Constitution tells us. It tells us that we have a constitutional right to the free practice and profession of our religious belief in our school, in our job, in our shop, wherever we are, not according to this perverted idea and judgment of Judge Cregan.
The judge brought up an article that he had read this morning on the Irish Independent by Shane.
Like, seriously, the people that have contact with Trump need to be doing everything they can to put this on his radar. This is crazy.
Phelan, he began to quiz Enoch on the article. Strange, I must say. Enoch Burke brought that issue again, that there were lies in the judgment of Mr. Justice Brian Cregan from the 18th of November. Lies about that he was a baleful and malign presence at the school, that he was stalking the school, its teachers and pupils, and that the pupils and teachers of the school had indicated in their affidavits that Enoch Burke was a danger, a potential danger to them. Now, these are baseless lies, and really we saw a judge caught out today, fumbling, talking over Enoch, cutting across him, saying, oh, that's not the word I used. I used a different definition of the word, saying that he used stalking in a figurative and metaphorical sense. This is outrageous behavior. It's an outrageous abuse of power by a High Court judge designed to slander a young man who's standing for the Constitution, for his Christian beliefs. Now, at one point, it came out that the judge had omitted from his judgment key parts of evidence and had selectively used what the principal of the school had said about the situation. And the judge simply said to Enoch Burke, move on. And it's a sad day when serious matters like this are brought before our High Court and we're told to move on. And we had also the issue about the Supreme Court appeal leave application that Enoch is intending to file. And that's simply in relation to the shambles of what we've seen in these courts over the last 3 years. When this case came before the Court of Appeal the first day in March 2023, they said it had nothing to do with Enoch Burke's views or his objection to the principal's instruction. When it came to the Court of Appeal in summer this year, in July 2025, the Court of Appeal, considering the same question, came to an entirely different conclusion.
I just want to show everybody that I just followed him on Twitter. This is his Twitter account right here. He's only got 67,000 followers. So, I mean, Irish teacher jailed for refusing to comply with transgender ideology at school. That is unreal. This is crazy.
They said that it was about the fact that Enoch had objected to the instruction. It was about his views, about his Christian beliefs. That was why he was being disciplined. And we can't have a situation like this where paid officers of the state, judges, are creating a shambolic situation for people like Enoch Burke, going in now to be forced into a disciplinary appeal panel meeting in the face of such a state of such confusion about the core issue, really. Why was he disciplined by Wilson's Hospital School? And we also had today that the judge said that he's not going to let Enoch out for Christmas or Easter.
Now, this is really a life sentence for my son by this judge. A life sentence for Enoch Burke. And let us remember, this Enoch Burke did not begin with Enoch Burke. This dispute began when the principal of the school demanded that he call a child by a new name and use the they pronoun. It did not begin with Enoch Burke. He was commanded to deny his Christian belief, to give up his conscience and agree with transgenderism. And today he's getting a life sentence because the courts have decided to agree with the school and lock him up in prison.
Enoch Burke there, he's just been packed back into the prison that jailed.
That is
he refused to accept
unbelievable.
Stay strong, Enoch.
I do hear what people are saying about it sucks, but it's not our problem. But we were a Kamala Harris presidency away from it being at our front door. That's just the truth of the matter. Truth of the matter, right there. So I think this is absolutely worth Trump's attention. Right here, I just found this video. So this is so I guess this is when when they arrested him initially.
We're looking to speak with Enoch if he's here, please.
Enoch is entitled to his religious belief.
Okay.
And it's really shameful that you're here. You know, he has a constitutional right. We all have to profess and practice our belief. And that's being denied, my son. And that's why you're here, really.
We're here under the instructions of the High Court. That's why we're here, because there's an order of committal for Enoch. That's the reason.
From
the High Court, from a judge, Chief Justice. Yeah, that's basically who's informed us that there's an order of committal, so that's why we're here.
Yeah, a judge that refuses to honor our Constitution.
Okay.
Yeah, and that refuses to acknowledge the core issue that my son was commanded to call a boy a girl. He was commanded. That's where this is the.
I agree, Midnight Light. This is legitimately unreal and impossible to comprehend as an American citizen. But the sad thing is, we almost had Kamala Harris as president. And we went through COVID and we saw what they did. We were not far from being in this situation or close to it.
The root of this matter, to use a they pronoun for a boy, which as a Christian he couldn't do. He has a Christian belief. That judge refuses to acknowledge what it's about. This is going on for 3 years, and we're back again now to the same thing. Refusal to acknowledge that he was commanded to do something that was against his religious belief, and that's really all. That is the situation. That's what it's about.
Do you know where he is?
That's all I have to say about it. He is entitled to his Christian belief. He's entitled to his constitutional right, and that's fair, and that should be for everybody.
Okay, I'm just asking a question.
Mm-hmm.
If you know where he is, could you let us know? Or
I've said all I'm going to say to you.
Okay. Thanks very much. Good night.
4 of you there.
4 men now.
No crime to deal with. No one passes on.
No crime.
No drugs or anything like that. No to deal with.
Our country is a very sad state.
This is private property now, you're on. Just want to remind the 4 of you there. You have to guard the van there as well.
Unbelievable, man.
Four guard the here.
And our streets
Late at night.
Wow.
All because Enoch Burke wouldn't call a boy a girl.
This is our Gardaí now, and the streets are full of drugs and crime, and yet we have 4 Gardaí out here tonight, and our country and the trouble that it's in to arrest an innocent man.
People being
An
assaulted.
innocent man.
Yep, this is what we have now. Transgenderism. Yep. Coming in late at night.
Coming in now in the dark of the night. Coming in now in the dark of the night to arrest an innocent man. Because he won't call a boy a girl. That's where we're at now in this country.
That is wild. Thanks for telling me about that, Eric K. That is crazy. So this is him right here. Wow. I can't even truly process that, but I think that when we are constantly talking about pronouns and agendas and things like that, we're talking about something real that's happening. They are constantly pushing this ideology on everyone else, and they are constantly preying on young children and to indoctrinate them. It's happening. It's been happening. They finally went a little too far with it, with a lot of the entertainment stuff, and it finally started to get rejected, but it has not gone away. It's completely still out there. And if the moment you get complacent, that's when everything will fall apart. And I know a lot of you don't like sports and all that, but sports analogies are perfect for almost every scenario. When you are in a football game, when you have a big lead, if you get complacent for just a few minutes, boom, that lead can be gone. If you get complacent, and that's what happens so many times. You get a big lead and you get complacent. Trump is here right now. Oh, Joe Rogan's got the top podcast. Oh, Fox News is the number one, cable network. Oh, all these conservative commentators are blowing up. All the left is getting owned. Don't get complacent. It gets complacent. You start thinking, oh, we're good. We got nothing to lose. It will be gone in an instant. You blink your eyes and it's gone. Blink your eyes and it's done. Don't get overconfident. 28-3. That's it. So that was a crazy story. I'm completely just like, I can't even process it. So, exactly. Midterms coming up. Yep. That is true. That is true. Let's see. Just woke up to this. World's gone mad. I hear you. We're fighting demons. This is our problem. Yeah, where's the Boondock Saints when we need them? UK said they'd prosecute us online misgendering. Well, we're going to call it there, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, 1 p.m., I think, 1 p.m. on the main Geeks and Gamers channel, we got a big IRL stream. All of the crew, or everybody that's in Orlando, is going to be there. I'll be there. So 1 p.m., Geeks and Gamers main channel. It's going to be awesome. But I have 8 hours of work left. Oh, man. Well, I appreciate you guys. Sorry I didn't get to the stream earlier, but, or I didn't get to all the super chats earlier, but I'm glad you guys come to hang out while we caught up on the rest of it. So thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Jeremy's going to heat up some more milk. No, I'm not. But Angela says, cool, I'll be awake for that. Can't wait. Flagner says, fix skipping super chats. What super chats did I skip? Did I skip any of yours? I don't think I did. I'm looking on Rumble. I don't see anybody on Rumble. Here, you know what? Accept my heartfelt apology. Okay, there. Is that good? Is that good? Fine. You know what? I'll just leave. Who needs me here anyway? That's a little better, right? That's a little better. Somebody said you skipped one that I didn't send. Okay, guys. Stream just got better. I bet it did. So, all right, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow on the main G&G channel. It's going to be fun, so I hope you guys will come over there and hang out with us. Bye, everyone.